Right, so you're transitioning to grey and you want to find out different styles and how you can do it to make it just a little bit easier and more comfortable for yourself. I've got a few tips for you, so keep watching. Hi there, I'm Haji at the Grey Indian. For those of you coming back to my channel, thank you for coming back. And for those of you that are coming here for the first time, welcome. Just to let you know a bit about myself, I am the Grey Indian for obvious reasons. I've been transitioning now for a whole year. I am in my 40s and a practicing makeup artist, and this channel is all about my transition journey, giving you a few tips and advice on going grey, and also about skincare and makeup techniques and how much it has changed now in my 40s. So if you're finding yourself in the same position, please give me a follow, give me a like, subscribe, and we can do this journey together. Right, so today's show is actually about different styles that you can have to transition to your full-on grey hair, silver hair, white hair, whichever one comes through for you. So I will be linking pictures today as I talk about each style, so you can have a good idea of what I'm talking about and how it might look if you were to do that kind of style. So the first one is a buzz cut. Now a buzz cut is basically shaving your hair down, not to completely being bald. You will have a little bit of a stubble there, so just almost a grade 1, I would say, or a grade 2. This is the easiest way probably to transition, because the hair that's going to come through is majority going to be your grey hair, and it will grow along with the length of your hair. The only downfall I would say is that basically it takes a long time to grow. I mean, it's individual for everybody, but you're looking at around about 2 to 3 years for it to grow completely. However, secondly, we have the pixie cut. So it's not as short as what a shaved head is, but it's comes up to about here, and it's quite small around the rest of your head. And this one, probably to transition to your grey hair and longer hair, it could take, I think, anything between 6 months to a year depending on your hair growth. But you can totally rock that. You can style a pixie up in so many different ways. It doesn't have to be short all over. It could be quite heavy all the way up here. You could have heavier hair at the back, at the top here, and then just shave it around here, make it a little bit shorter. And I'm going to link a picture of a silver sister who looks absolutely amazing with her hair like this. I absolutely love it, and she's got a fantastic face for it as well. So you have that option. Right, the third one is you could go all silver. So let's say if you've got my length hair or longer, you can go to the hairdressers and you can just basically get your hair bleached and dyed and toned to the grey colour that's going to be coming in. The only downfall with this, and the whole reason I didn't do that, is because it will take, if you've got dark hair like mine, it will take about 2 to 3 bleaches to lift your colour, and then they will tone it and make it a grey colour. And then you would have to go back to the hairdressers every, I would say, 6 to 8 weeks to go and get a toner put in your hair to keep that grey. For me, that wouldn't have made sense. The whole reason I wanted to stop dyeing with my hair was because I didn't want to be sat in that salon chair for that long and making that many visits. So that is one option, but just bear in mind that if you do have dark hair like mine, it will cause a lot of damage. Okay. So number 4 is highlighting your hair. So this is fantastic for if you've already got blonde hair. You're naturally blonde or very light haired, because what they will do is not grab all of your grays, but they will bring in greys and blondes and so on, so that there's a nice little blend going on as it grows out. Now with myself, I actually had highlighted hair, and the last time I did get my hair dyed, which was in February last year, my whole intention of getting it done was to make the blending a lot nicer, and it worked for the first, I would say, month to 2 months. Then what happened was my actual root growth isn't just the grey, but it's actually a darker brown, if you can see, right? So now I had 3-4 colours going on. I had my grey, I had my really dark brown, and then I had my highlighted hair. And I didn't particularly like that. So in November, I went for another colour where they did not touch my greys, but I had them put darker streaks in, but we will talk about that a little bit later. Okay, so number 5 is to strip your hair. So if you haven't been highlighting and you've been using box dyes all this time, so you've been using maybe permanent, temporary, demi-permanent, what you can do is there's loads of different kinds of remedies to strip your hair. So some are natural and some are shop bought. So I think there's one called colorless and so on. And there's other ways of doing it with apple cider vinegar and some bicarbonate of soda. And it's basically stripping out that dye so that you can make your process a little bit quicker. So for example, when I say process quicker, let's say if you've got your grey coming through and your roots have only come up this far, right? And that's your natural hair growing through, but the rest of it is dyed over here. So what you can do is, if you're going to strip this and you're going to take the colour out, for all you know, your grey could actually already be down up to here, right? So it's if you want to speed that growth up, that's how you would do it. I would highly recommend you don't do this if you've got bleached hair. I did this hoping that my bleached hair would come out, my color would change, and I went from blonde to blorange, and it was not a pretty color. It really was not. So yeah, it doesn't work on highlighted hair, on bleached hair, but it does work on dyed hair. Some people say maybe it doesn't work on permanent hair dye. Others say it can. So I guess it all comes down to you just trying it out and seeing if it works for you. Right, so the sixth one is strip dye. I didn't know much about this technique until I got about 8 or 9 months into my journey. And what you do is, let's say you've got your already dyed hair and you've got grays coming through, and they're like highlights, sprinkled grays everywhere, or maybe at the top here. What you would do is you would grab a section of your top hair, like so, and you would dye this section and leave all the greys that are underneath. And then once that section of hair drops over it, you might see a few silvers just coming through, but it's not as harsh, and the demarcation line isn't as harsh as if it was all coming through from the top. And I know a lot of women who have actually really preferred this method, because what happens is once their greys underneath have grown up to here, that is when they slowly start growing their top hair out, because they've already got the greys now going on over there, and it can kind of transition and blend very nicely. So that is another option. Okay, number 7. This is for my highlighted sisters out there who have dark hair like me and have highlighted it. And I looked everywhere. I looked online on Pinterest, on Instagram and YouTube, and I searched and searched, and I just thought there must be something. I'm missing a name here. What is it called? So if you want to have your hair blonde, you would say, oh yeah, I want to have blonde highlights put in there. But what if you want to go darker? Because what I decided was that I actually wanted to now have this darker root growth that I had in between my hair, so kind of the opposite to the bleach highlights that I'd been doing, but just to make it blend a bit more nicely. So after so much research and looking for it, it's called filling in your hair. So when you fill in your hair, it is when you are blonde and you are lighter, and you basically are going in with darker strands to basically blend it in a lot more nicely. And by the time I got to hairdressers again, I was blorange by that time, and I was so grateful for the woman that I had, because I specifically had said to her in November, please, like, just make sure you don't touch my greys. You don't know how long, I've been working on these greys, and it's really important. And you will understand when you get there, it's such an important thing that no dye touches your greys once you know that you're doing this. And she was fantastic. She was really careful around my greys, didn't touch anything, and then she blended it in perfectly. So she took the whole blorange out. I can see that now basically it is getting lighter, which naturally happens with dark color as you wash it. But whether I will fill it in again, I'm not too sure yet. I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. And number 8, cold turkey, right? This is, so many women are doing this. Cold turkey, where you don't do anything to your hair, you don't touch it with dye, you don't strip it, you do nothing to it, and you just let it do what it wants to do naturally. And there are many women who have done this, and I really rate them for doing it as well. They've pulled it off amazingly. So that would be your 8th option. So that's 8 options there of how you can transition to grey and make it a lot easier for yourself. I hope that was very helpful for you if you are planning on transitioning. If you liked what you saw, please subscribe. please like the video, hit the notifications. I do a video every Sunday. And also, if you've got any suggestions or want to comment on this video, please leave your comments below. And until next Sunday, it's okay to go grey. See you next time. Bye.